So today I want to talk about a very important concept called having and being, and it's a concept that exists as long as humans exist, but it's probably made popular in the modern era by a philosopher, psychologist called Fromm. Here's one of his books, interpreted by one of his students, Funk. So I'm not talking about physical needs here. We all have physical needs. You need a roof over your head. You need food in your body. You need to be feeling safe. You need to be healthy, well fed. This having and being I'm talking about is a emotional, psychological, spiritual, existential concept of being okay with yourself, being content. So that's the having and being I'm talking about now. So imagine this scale, just being happy, being content. Now there's a lot of things that influence the ability to have, see, here's the needles right in the middle. That would make a difference. And some of those things happen very early in your life. Some of those things can even be, let's say, biological. Maybe you were born and with a disability or a psychological disability. That could be that. Or maybe it was a bit of nurture. You had parents or people who took care of you, and they were not that nice. So they constantly told you weren't good enough, or maybe it happened at school, or maybe your peers. So that could happen, or maybe the opposite happened. Maybe you had parents who told you were a prince or a princess, and you were wonderful. Your mommy or daddy's little darling. So there we go. You'll see just now why that also is brings some problems. Or maybe society, or maybe war broke out in your country. That happens. Bad influences from friends, lack of education. I can go on and load this thing. So again, we're not talking physical needs here. We're talking here emotional, psychological, existential, spirit, that sort of realm, right? So we try and compensate for this in many ways in life. Younger, maybe we surround ourselves with friends, and where's a little friend? Oh, I don't know how. Well, let's just put one or two friends here. Put some friends here. There we go. Friends. It's a little bit better. But now some of the friends are nasty. Oh, here we go again there. Or maybe your parents get sick, or one of them pass away. There we go again. So there's no guarantee that it stays like that. Maybe in your adult life, different things happen, right? You need different things to work that out. So maybe you say, okay, if I become successful, right? So I can, let's just say this car is now symbolizing success. You have great neighborhood, great house, great, I don't know, whatever career. But then you get sick. There we go again. Now you say, okay, but that's physical. But I'm talking about what it does to you as a person. Of course, now psychologically, it's not just the sickness gets out of sync here. Or stuff like, you to compensate for this thing, you have this high-power job. I have this batteries here. It says super heavy-duty daily power. Now you have this great job. Now you feel good about yourself. But now people doubt your authority. And they say some things you don't like. Now you have to act up. And, You all of a sudden doubt the friends you have or the colleagues that was always there for you, or maybe in your family, maybe it's not in your career. Now people all of a sudden become the enemy and you start acting like a little banana, all funny now. Do you see where I'm getting at? So, and especially this thing about doubting you as a person. Remember I talked about when you were young, that it could be like people told you not good enough. Or maybe people told you like you the prince or the princess and you're just wonderful. If you have that overinflated or underinflated view of yourself, that you're always not good enough, you're always going to be in a state of need. And you're always going to have things to compensate for that. People need to, compliment you, all the time. And if they look at you funny, then they're not your friend anymore. Or you start to use other things. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's toxic relationships. Just to get to a point where you emotionally, existentially, spiritually, get to a point of being. But none of those things are going to work. There's always going to be things that happen in life. It's always going to be illness, people who don't agree, you're going to lose a job, you're going to get sick. So it's important that your spirit stays in this position so that doesn't matter what happens, that you be okay. I'm not saying it's not going to be tough. Of course it's going to be tough. If you have cancer or you have a heart attack or people die or you get abused, these things are horrible, they're tough. But if this this balance gets knocked out, it becomes worse, because now you have to act out harder to keep it happy. One of the things you can do is to talk to people on a regular basis. But how you doing? They could be your friends, your family, but people who's going to be honest. If people have been proven to be your friends or family or kind to you for years, don't all of a sudden doubt them just because they say something that you might not like to hear. And if it's not that, then see somebody professional. But it's good to check in. Don't wait till it's too late and disaster strikes and now you have to act up and become a banana. Do this on a regular basis. Surround yourself with people to help you be in a state of mind where you can be of great service to others.